Good morning. A butterfly flaps its wings in the Amazon, and it rains in Farmington Hills. In chaos theory, the butterfly effect is the example used to show that any tiny event, like a butterfly flapping its wings, can have a profound effect on something else in our interconnected world, even thousands of miles away. Every little action or seemingly minor event causes the future to change, sometimes profoundly. The question then is, what if the event isn't minor? What if it's a major event? What happens when a longtime pastor opens his wings and flies away? About exactly a year ago, standing in about this exact same spot, I made a statement that was even more true than I knew at the time, and one that is now more relevant than I would care to admit. One of the things that I said last year was this, and I quote, "Being involved in giving of your time not only brings you so much closer to all the great things at Hope, but it also opens your eyes to all the challenges. And you realize how important just a few people can really be, even to a congregation as large and as vibrant as ours." Over the last 2 months, we've lost some very integral people to this congregation, and for some of us, it feels like our world's been turned upside down. A year ago, the idea of losing Pastor Brad and soon Becky would have seemed pretty far-fetched to most of us, maybe along the lines of the idea that Michigan could actually beat Michigan State in football. Crazy, I know. While the idea of Michigan winning is still pretty far out there after last weekend's beatdown, we are looking at a reality and a new future at Hope that we didn't expect. The challenges are now easy to see, and the importance of those people is impossible to miss. But the point now is giving of our time is more important than ever. The church isn't about 2 or 3 people, no matter how critical they may seem. This community of faith can go on. If you come here on a Wednesday night, you'll see over 100 people here participating in one group or another. From the Edge to liturgical dance, Alpha Band, Angels of God, Joyful Noise, Bell Choir, Traditional Choir, and plenty of committee meetings. I've seen a lot of churches, and I'm telling you that's not normal. The programs and involvement here are extraordinary, and losing Pastor Brad and Becky, as great as they were at their roles, doesn't change that. This church is special because of the masses, not just the leaders. I truly believe in my heart that the world is a better place because of Hope. The impact of the programs here goes so far beyond our little community. Much like the butterfly effect, the web of influence of the people of this church community impacts the world. It's youth like Kristen Boris and Megan Jamrog who went off to Grand Valley and immediately got involved in Bible study and Christian fellowship groups, and Taylor DeSormo and Olivia Oldham who worked at Lutheran camps this past summer. They were so used to being involved at church that for all 4 of them, these activities were a normal extension of their faith. But what if they'd grown up in a passive congregation that didn't have programs that engaged them and helped them grow in faith? How many people in Grand Rapids would have missed out on Kristen and Megan and all they will do there? How many kids and youth would have never experienced Christ's love through Taylor and Olivia? These programs take countless hours to develop and run, and they're largely done by people without kids in these programs. So why do people do it? Because it's important and it changes lives. A youth is inspired on a Sunday night, and the world is forever changed. God calls us to use the resources we've taken to make a difference in His kingdom, and it's about so much more than just money. Our time and talents are needed as well. How much is God calling you to give? A butterfly flaps its wings in the Amazon, and it rains in Farmington Hills. A youth from Hope opens her wings and shares her faith in the world, and someone hears about Jesus in a way they never would have. How much is God calling you to give? An hour a week to get involved? $100 a week to fund these programs? The answer is different for everyone, but my purpose for being here is to ask the question, to make you think, and hopefully help you understand what it takes for a place like this to be as impactful as it is in terms of time, talent, and treasure. On the treasure front, as we move toward Consecration Sunday, 2 weeks from today, each of us will be thoughtfully considering the answer to the spiritual question, what percentage of my income is God calling me to give? Since I'm a numbers guy, I'm back this year for the technical discussion, so I'll do my best to make this easy to understand. Please take out the Grow One Step sheet in your worship bulletin. If you don't have one, there's some in the back that can be passed around. Looks like a stair step. I'll give you some numbers to write into the blanks of the stair step. Above the step that says 1 cent to $4.99, write the number 52. This means that 52 member households of our church give on average between 1 cent and $4.99 per week to Hope. If you think about it, this is probably equal to about 1 cup of coffee. Above the step that says $5 to $9.99, write 31. This means that 31 member households of our church give on average between $5 and $9.99 per week to Hope. As I've come to learn over the last 7 months, this is equal to a little less than 1 day of formula for a baby with a sensitive stomach. Above the step that says $10 to $20, write 45. This means that 45 member households of our church give on average between $10 and $20 a week to Hope. You'd probably be lucky to get into a movie and have a little popcorn for one person at this point for under 20 bucks. Well, you get the idea, so we can walk through the rest of the table pretty quickly. Above the step that says $20 to $30, write 33. Above the step that says $30 to $40, write 16. Above the step that says $40 to $50, write 19. Above the step that says $50 to $75, write 26. Above the step that says $75 to $100, write 16. Above the step that says $100 to $150, write 16. Above the step that says $150 to $200, write 12. And above the step that says $200 and up, write 5. Now please turn your sheet over and look at the chart on the back. This will allow you to do some easy math with no calculator required. If you start on the left side and let your eyes go down the left side of the scale until you come to your approximate income level. As an example, on the row assuming a family makes $1,000 per week or $52,000 a year. Now move your eyes across to the right to your weekly giving level to God's work through our congregation. Then move your eyes to the top of the sheet to locate the percentage of your income that represents. Again, as an example, a family with an income of $52,000 per year that wanted to tithe at 10% would contribute $100 per week to the mission and ministries of Hope. During the next 2 weeks leading up to Consecration Sunday, I'm sure each of us will be pondering the question, what percentage of my income is God calling me to give? So 2 weeks from today, November 24th, on Consecration Sunday, our celebration brunch will once again be catered by the Breakfast Club, and we hope that everyone will be there. I want to emphasize now that there is no cost for the breakfast and there will be no free will offering collected. The brunch will simply be a time to enjoy great food and fellowship with other members of Hope. If you've already completed a brunch reservation card, you do not need to fill out another one. For everyone else, we'll give you a few minutes now to complete your reservation card, at which time the ushers will come around to each pew and pick up the cards. So please raise your hand if you need a card. To be sure we leave no one out, we will be in contact with everyone that doesn't turn in a reservation card, so please help us by completing it now. I have one more personal item to add while we're filling out our cards. The day that Crystal and I found out about Pastor Brad and Becky leaving, we were both pretty sad, and we were reflecting on some things, and we somehow got on the topic of the butterfly effect. Since then, I've thought about it a lot, and I think it's a great metaphor for all of us in our journeys of faith. What little things can we do that will impact someone that we don't even know today? Everyone here probably has a crazy small world story about running into someone while they were out of town, and they knew someone that you know, and on, and the conversation always ends with, boy, isn't it a small world? It is a small world, and everything we do impacts it more than we will ever know. Every action we take, whether minuscule or massive, leaves the world forever changed. Every little act of kindness, every event that we lead or participate in, every program that we fund at Hope that influences someone's life and grows their faith will touch another life and another life and another. The web of impact from every single action we take causes a ripple effect that we cannot comprehend. If a butterfly flapping its wings in the Amazon can make it rain in Farmington Hills, think about what God could do across the world with your involvement here at Hope. I urge you to step up this year in your giving. Take a step up and see the amazing things that God can inspire us to do here at Hope. Let's not strive to be a normal church with normal involvement in normal programs. Normal is easy, normal is cheap, normal takes minimal effort, and normal doesn't change lives. Normal congregations are slowly dying. In this day and age, it takes extraordinary to get people's attention, particularly the attention of our youth. I ask you to hold this congregation to a higher standard as we move forward through this time of transition so that we can continue to be extraordinary and send people out to spread their wings and impact untold people across the world. In closing, I would suggest that you consider doing the following this week. Turn off the TV, the computer, or the iPad, the cell phone, and pray, asking the following in your prayer: what percentage of my income and my time is God calling me to give to God's work through this congregation? Thank you.